But to show our final respect to Iceland, man, let's react to Geography Now Iceland as the final thing today on stream. Otherwise,
we're too fucked. If you just want to get a real taste of Iceland better than I could ever provide, check out my friend, this guy, Ásgeir. Subscribe to his channel. He helped me out when I was there. And he knows Ásgeir. Check out the Ás. Yeah, keep that.
I've done one historical battle after Baby Break yesterday, I think. It's like Viking always better? No, I want to achieve.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Barbie. So full disclosure before we start, my pronunciation for Icelandic words is gonna suck so bad in this episode. I do not advise you to play a drinking game for every time I mispronounce something. You will get alcohol poisoning and you might die. I repeat.
I hate that nowadays you have to always apologize for mispronouncing stuff. Like you say something and someone in the comments is like, oh, actually, fuck off, man. My God, the guy's doing content about the whole fucking planet. He's gonna say something wrong. It sucks. You have to apologize for it, man.
Die watching this.
Yeah, I will play Iceland on Friday.
Iceland,
I don't think that's stand.
Just the name invokes an obvious clue about where it is geographically. First of all, the country is located at the confluence of the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans east of Greenland and...
What is currently the temperature in Reykjavik? I say 18. 11? Oh, I want to live there. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow, that's great. Super confused all the time.
Three of which are confusing because they basically just split up the most populous areas in the west. Reykjavik is the capital and the northernmost capital in the world, which is split into
nice. There's
south,
something
whereas the
erupting.
southwest constituency is divided into 4 non-contiguous exclaves, but they still act as one constituency, not 4. So it's
Blue,
6
another
small
20,
separate
man.
entities that
Another
act as
fucking
3
20. I don't know how much time I have left today, but I'm not streaming tomorrow.
Get it?
Thank you so much, Blue Man. I fucking appreciate it.
This was done to help with the imbalance of
3.8k subs. We're doing a live IRL workout stream. Gonna be fucking weird, man.
The sparsely populated outer regions
Thank you, man.
voting, since about a third of the entire country is located in the Reykjavik metropolitan area. Nonetheless, most of the country still...
Iceland is growing, right? Because it's a volcanic island. It's slowly growing, and over thousands of years, they're gonna be a big country one day.
Traditional 8-region zones, which are
when the human race is already long gone,
probably. The country has many
probably.
domestic airports, but the one large-scale international airport is Keflavik.
When workout stream? At 3.8k subs, I just said that, you idiot.
And the next 2 busiest ones are Reykjavik and Akureyri. Reykjavik and Akureyri are domestic airports except for seasonal...
I was just watching a movie where they were in Iceland, The Fabulous Life of Walter Mitty. You guys know that movie? People always told me to watch it. I felt it was good, but not like amazing. And there's a lot of scenes in Iceland. A very cool movie.
Iceland's domain is mostly encompassed around the main island. However, they do own some smaller islands and archipelagos off their coasts. The most populated ones being...
This is an old video because this mic is so bad. 17, okay, yeah, 5 years.
And Grimsey, and some in the south, like the newest island that just popped up in the 60s, Surtsey, which is off limits to anyone except permitted scientists who study it. Otherwise, Iceland may be rugged, but the islanders sure have paved a way for you to see it all. The Ring Road. This guide takes you all around the entire country, and depending on how much time you want to stop and see...
Any Icelanders in here? How long would you drive to make that full drive? I would be guessing... 6 hours 40.
The sites, it could take you anywhere between 4-ish to 7 days to complete. Hey Brandon, you went on the Ring Road, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
About 9 days.
Okay, maybe my facts
were
wrong.
But if you just straight up drive the whole time?
Notable man-made sites and landmarks might include the National Gallery, the Viking World Museum.
Oh, I want to go there, man. That'd be sick.
Stone carvings of Páll Guðmundsson, the U.S. Navy D3 plane wreckage site, the hit Viking village, the Sea Monster Museum, pretty much all of...
Dude, imagine IRL streams in Iceland. Man, if I didn't have a family, I would totally do that. IRL streams in
the
Iceland,
Whale Museum, the Design Center, all over the countryside you can find turf houses with grass on their roofs.
Straight up fucking hobbits.
Iconic landmark and beautifully constructed icicle-shaped church.
That's sick,
now,
man.
as interesting as those man-made sites and landmarks may be, they pale in comparison to what the actual land has to offer. Let's jump into the fire and ice.
Just leave the family.
Let me just put it this way. Iceland doesn't need an amusement park or roller coasters because the entire island is just like a wonderland in itself. First of all, Iceland is the 18th largest island in the world and the 2nd largest in all of Europe.
Greenland is
the entire
the
country
biggest.
lies transected on the mid-Atlantic range, which divides the North American tectonic plate with the Eurasian plate, splitting open about 2 centimeters every year. You can even see the divide for yourself with your own eyes. Nearby Reykjavik at with the largest natural lake, the land splits open and you can literally walk from Eurasia to North America.
If you're really into Viking stuff like I am a lot, that is probably such a great place. I cannot wait to go there one day.
At the Silfra, that was easy, known as the clearest water diving spot in the world, where visibility can go up to 100 meters. Over 80% of the country is mountainous, with the tallest point, Hvannadalshnúkur.
I once cycled around the ring. It took me 45 hours. Damn, that must be cool cycling around the ring of Iceland. That's a great experience.
Glaciers, the largest one in the southeast, Eyjafjallajökull, and the smallest one, which just erupted in 2010, Eyjafjallajökull.
Lawyer,
with hundreds of volcanoes and about 30 of them are consistently active, as the longest river, the Þjórsá, meanders through the deep central Höfn glacier to the ocean. So basically, the entire island is geothermal. Everywhere you go, chances are you can probably find a natural hot spring hidden somewhere in the remote wilderness. Now,
if you're a bit interested about Iceland, I have two things for you. I'm a big fan of documentaries. Number one, there's a documentary on Netflix with Zac Efron. I know that sounds weird, Zac Efron, blah, blah, blah. But it's a great documentary. He travels the world and looks at sustainable energy and stuff. And there's an Iceland episode. Amazing. And there's a Somebody Feed Phil episode on Netflix. That's a cooking show where a guy travels the world, looks for cooking. And they show a lot of Iceland and great stuff over there. And they have like these, they take eggs and they put them into the ground and they boil inside the ground.
Not only that, but Iceland also
really
harbors
cool
and capitalizes off of this unique, valuable resource as much.
And there's this legendary place in East Iceland where with pools, there's these blue water pools and you go in them and they clean your skin. And it's so
when the
sick,
first Vikings came in, they were like,
"Wow, it is cold in here." I mean, I knew Norway was chilly, but dang!
Is there anything here we can use to not, like, freeze to death?
Oh.
Yeah, they killed a lot of sheep and made more wool clothing, but then eventually they found out how to generate power with the hot springs. Geothermal energy provides about a quarter of the country's power.
Yeah, that's what I learned about that Zac Efron documentary, that Iceland is about to be, or already is, the cleanest country ever, industrialized country, because they will completely get energy from the geothermal activity, man.
And the rest is mostly
really
hydroelectric from dams and renewable sources. Nonetheless, only about 1% of their land is arable, mostly confined to the south peripheral lowlands, where root vegetables and kale and cabbage and cauliflower are grown, alongside numerous geothermal heated greenhouses that harvest warm climate produce like tomatoes, cucumbers, and yes, even bananas, making Iceland the northernmost banana producing country in the world. Of course, the country also hosts a unique variety of Arctic wildlife like puffins, foxes, seals, narwhals, and the national animals, the griffon.
What the fuck are narwhals? How are they real, right? How do we not live in this fantasy world? Narwhal. How is that a real animal? He has a tooth that in evolution has grown out of his fucking skin and is now a fucking sword. That fucking exists, man. That is so mind-blowing to me. That's a tooth, right? It's a tooth that evolutionary twirled itself. Crazy,
Falcon and the famous
like, imagine you live in the fucking 1500s and you take a boat and you see these things, man. Obviously, you're gonna believe in wonders, man, right?
Icelandic horses. By the way, yes, it's true. Iceland is the only country with no mosquitoes. However, they do have two species of midges.
He said midget.
Midges, which are
no mosquitoes is a big one.
And actually, one of the species does actually bite, so it's kind of like having mosquitoes anyway.
Iceland has biting midges.
Keith, just... Speaking of which, traditional Icelandic food is, let's just say, even my...
Yeah, the problem is Scandinavia, they have shit food. They have, like, fish and really dry... But I'm a big restaurant fan. The best restaurant of the year, 2022, is actually in Copenhagen, in Denmark. I forgot the name, though.
My Icelandic friend said this.
But Nordic food is...
so disgusting. Why would anyone eat this?
Yeah, let's just say the Vikings had some very unorthodox tactics when it came to food preservation. Dishes like sheep's head, stockfish jerky, head cheese, sheep testicles, and the famous haukar. What is it exactly? Well, let's just say...
Hey, so I got the shark, but it's poisonous. How do I eat it?
Oh, I know. Let's bury it into the ground until it smells like urine, then dry it out for a couple months, and then cut off the brown crust, and then serve it.
Yeah, obviously.
There are some delicious, redeeming Icelandic food.
Oh, look at that. Can you imagine right now putting your fork in it, you open it, the juice comes out, you dip it in the sauce. Oh, man.
Though they are known for
I gotta call the stream soon. I gotta eat, man.
Lamb served with bean salad and grilled haddock and herring dishes. You can literally drink almost any water from any stream, pond, or lake or river in Iceland. The whole island kind of acts like a filtration device for the glaciers.
Sick.
You have places like the smooth, conical Kirkjufell Mountain. Brandon has a tattoo of that. The Skaftafell Crystal Ice Cave in Vatnajökull. The Kjolur Trail in the Highlands. Literally like every 5 kilometers.
Especially for like hiking, Iceland must be really insane.
Find a waterfall, and don't forget the geysers in the south. Pretty much all of the Westfjords region is empty and beautiful for you to explore with no tourists. The sea monster of Kvitsarkur, Dragni Island, Grjótgjá Caves, Mayfell Green
like
Volcano on black sand beaches, Krafla and Naumskarth, Drangsnes hot tubs, the largest hot spring Knúkver, and the open exposed fossils of If you went against my disclaimer and played that drinking game, you should be in an ambulance by now. Speaking of drinking, Icelanders are awesome people to socialize with. Let's meet them, shall we? Now, if the Nordics were a family, Iceland would be like the little brother that got lost at sea got stranded on an island and became a wild man. First of all, Iceland has a population of about 335,000 people and is the most sparsely populated country in Europe. About 92% of the country identifies as ethnically Icelandic, about 4% are Polish, and the remainder are other immigrants from all...
The fucking Poles are everywhere, man.
Mostly Nordic, West European, and a few Asians mixed in as well.
Today, some Polish minister, I was reading it, today a Polish minister said, Poland now aims to have the biggest army of Europe, man. I like that. The Polish actually want to protect EU from fucking Russia, man, and we should all do the same.
Also use the Icelandic kroner as their currency. They use the Type C plug outlet, and they drive on the right side of the road. Now, being Icelandic is actually very unique genetically in contrast to the rest of their Nordic cousins. Basically, way back yeehaw, the Vikings were like, hey, we're sick of Norway. Let's make a new home. Oh, but wait. We need women. But most of the Norwegian women were like, So they made a quick stop to the British Isles and kidnapped a bunch of Irish and Celtic women.
So they did. You were right. When I was playing, a guy said that.
Brought them over. About 70% of all their women, that is. To this day,
70% women. These guys must have the life, dude.
A typical Icelander actually has a portion of Irish or Celtic roots in their blood. Now, obviously, if you are one of the few lucky people that hasn't ended up in an ambulance yet, you'll have noticed that the Icelandic language is incredibly unique, often touted as one of the hardest languages in the world to learn. I mean, half the time the letters make no sense. F can make a V or a P sound. Sometimes P and a T make a F sound. Sometimes the G makes a W sound. These two letters both make a
you just tuned in. Don't make a video out of Iceland. I'm playing Iceland again on Friday because I fucked up today and I want to make it better.
Sometimes when there's two L's, it makes like a sound. Most Nordic people have a hard time cracking the Icelandic code, except for the Faroese people on the Faroe Islands. They seem to have a similar sense of pronunciation and grammar as the Icelanders. Icelandic and Faroese are the closest languages to ancient Norse out of all the Nordic languages. If you give them a script written in ancient Norse, chances are they could probably understand it.
Man.
Whereas Norwegians, Swedes, and Danes are like, ha!
Makoni, fuck you. You're just trying to do me.
Icelandic culture is very communal. Chances are everybody either knows each other or they know somebody who knows another person. Therefore,
they all know each other. Yeah, a guy said yesterday, right? They have an app that you don't do incest. If you're trying to date a girl, there's an app that shows you if you're related to her, man.
In the mindsets of most people. This is why Iceland has one of the lowest crime rates in the entire world, sometimes topping off at #1. And also, as of 2014, they were elected the world's most peaceful country according to the Global Peace Index. By the way, in Iceland, nobody technically has a surname. They just adopt the last name dependent on their father's first name, and they just add son or dotter after it. So, for example, a man named Alex with a father named, I don't know, Bjarki would be named Alex Bjarkison. Or if it was a woman, her last name would be Bjarki Dotter.
Cool.
Sorry, Bjarki, you just popped in my head. You rock, man. Hope you're doing well. Icelanders are thrill seekers. They live in an extreme landscape, so they make the best of it, and they will ski, paraglide, rappel, skate, dive, jump, and experience anything that gives them adrenaline. Some of the top notable Icelandic people might include founders of Iceland, Ingólfur Arnarsson and his wife Hedvig and brother Kjörleif, Leif Erikson, the first president Svein Björnsson, musicians Sigur Rós of Mont.
Name, every time we watch this video, name a famous person from Iceland. Obviously Björk, right? Björk is Icelandic, right? Who else is from the mountain, what's his name? Halftor Björnsson or some shit from fucking Game of Thrones? The actor for Anakin? What? Fucking no way. Bullshit. That's not true. You mean the kid or Hayden Christensen? Bullshit. Some football players. I feel like Björk and the Mountain are the most famous, huh? Yeah, that guy is
Monsters and Men, Emiliana Torrini, Moon, Goose Goose, of course the most famous
Björk.
resident Björk, Oscar-nominated director.
No idea what it is. The Mountain, though.
Friedrichsen, Hector Laxness, handball superstar Olafur Stephenson.
Handball superstar. That's like being the most famous guy in your street. Okay, Makoni, all the
Magnus
best.
Örnskjöld, Fionn Paul, and of course everyone's favorite strongman,
Hafthor. Julius Björnsson, man. What a fucking did that guy, man.
Or the Mountain.
Didn't he have a boxing match against Eddie Hall? Did that happen? Wait. Eddie Hall versus... Did that happen? Oh shit, that happened! I totally forgot about that. Dude, these guys are so heavy, man. There's no fucking way that they have cardio for 5 rounds. Oh, he looks... Dude, that is... Dude. Imagine you live in fucking the year 1000 in England and that guy arrives at your shore, man. Fucking Conor McGregor on steroids, man. The right hook. If you don't know who these are, these two are strongmen. They are in the strongman competition, you know, where they do weightlifting and stuff and fucking boulders out of concrete. And these guys are kind of always rank 1 very often, and they wanted to make a show match, a boxing match for some money. They don't really hate each other or anything, they just wanted to have a show match. Didn't do nothing.
Now, as small as Iceland is, they've made a huge impact in the world's media outlets. Somewhere in the late 90s and early 2000s, word spread fast, and to this day, tourism is almost getting out of hand as they get over 3
a lot of
times
weightlifters lose, they have nose bleeding and stuff.
Every year. Hotels need to be built, staff need to be hired, and diplomacy is key in operating the whole deal. Which brings us to...
The Mountain's doing more boxing than weightlifting now. He went down to 200 kilograms. Probably healthy for him, man.
Too many people like him now, and it's all happening too fast. First of all, Iceland has
always
always
had
good ties to the USA and Canada. The US was the first to recognize Iceland as a state after independence, and both countries not only give some of the biggest business, but also house the largest communities of Icelanders outside of Iceland. Finland is like the mysterious, cool new rebel friend that they just made. They enjoy both being outsiders because although they are both Nordic, they are not considered Scandinavian. When it comes to humor, they totally get each other and click instantly with dry,
because they're all depressed from the darkness?
Sweden is like the older brother that they love, but is too busy working on his flowcharts to hang out with.
Yeah, they shouldn't have good relations with England, right? Because of these cod wars that we learned about on stream.
Considering their flat landscape. Most Icelanders learn Danish in school first before they learn English, even though they think it's pretty useless. When it comes to their best friends, most Icelanders I've talked to have said Norway and the Faroe Islands. As mentioned before, Icelanders have historical roots to Norway, and the two have had very close relations, especially since they both can relate to being subjugated under the Danes at one point in time.
I'm
the
done
Faroe
here after
Islands
this.
are like their weird cousins that totally get them and love to hang out with.
Yeah, I don't have time for the Death Diary today, and the 6 questions will be the opener of Friday's stream, but Lisa needs help with the baby, so we're gonna call it here.
When an Icelander meets a Faroese person. In conclusion, Iceland is a land where cold meets hot, old meets new, small yet big, horrible fermented shark meets your dinner plate. I hope you're still alive, and if you are, stay tuned, because the big guy, India, is coming up next.
India! Darn tootin', partner, you're still here? If you fancy more of this beautiful face you're seeing right now, click these videos and subscribe.